Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Daily Masters cast, where once again I have a little bit of a cough, so I'm going to be using the mute button a little bit, but whatever. Just getting back into it. Should be an awesome game regardless. And man, that guy's got the watchtower very, very fast. So very early scout from Mr. Life. It is going to be Mr. Life up the top left side of the map. He is 17 years of age, from South Korea, plays for the Startail team, and I hope I got all that information right. It seems to be right, but then again, you never know because things change on the internet, and sometimes things that haven't even changed were wrong to begin with. So anyway, we've got this little drone going on there, going nuts on the worker, but should get scared away a little bit, although it might just be running around, trying to have a go at that. So going to require a bit of micro from Mr. Polt to actually make sure that that drone does not get any worker kills, but it doesn't look like it's going to, because a Reaper is going to be coming out straight away. And that's the main thing that I suppose this drone wants to really check out, sort of. It's kind of running away, which is not really helping my point, but I thought he would like to see whether there's a Reaper or a Marine coming out first. I'm guessing that he knows it's a Reaper, but anyway, the Overlord should probably spot that. But regardless, this is going to be Polt down the bottom right side of the map, and here also has a new photo on Liquipedia. There was a photo, I cast a game of Jaedong, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I remarked upon his new photo, which I wasn't too much of a fan of, just because he looked like a giraffe. And I'm looking at this photo of Polt, and I've got to say, he looks like a giraffe as well. If you're watching this game, the photos are probably still up there. It's probably going to be like 5 or 6 days that you see this video after I cast it. Polt and Jaedong, they've got, I don't know why, but they show an incredible amount of neck. The length of their neck is easily the total size of their head. It's crazy, man. But yeah, anyway, let's move back on the game. Oh man, here we go. The Reaper's coming around and going to be having a crack at some lings. Got a nice worker possibility there. Only going to be having a little bit more time, but he's going to be going for the lings. Might be able to kill one off. There we go. One ling goes down. The other three are looking a little bit slipshod, so a worker might go down, but the queen does come out. And two Reapers choosing to go up the top. They could just bounce down, hoping to get a worker, but the worker did morph into something, a spore crawler by the looks of it, and does cancel it at the very last second. The Reapers coming around again, could take out that worker if they're very, very skillful. The worker is trying to hide. The Reapers are going to have to back out. They are so low on health that they're going to have to regen, but that worker, there's actually two workers on low to medium health, and the Reapers could potentially get around there. All they have to do is get a little bit lucky, but they are going to pull back for now, and yeah, just sort of take it easy. I mean, they've done their hard bit right now, and they're basically just going to bludge for the rest of the game until something kills them, because their potential for doing anything worthwhile in this game is really not all that good anymore, but at least they've done something. Here we go. Couple of Hellions coming out. Couple more coming out. Very, very, very standard harassment tactics coming out from Polt right now. We do have the starport. Is this going to be a tech lab? Is he going to move the starport onto the tech lab? My guess would be yes. My guess would no. He's actually building a reactor over here, so no, the Banshee tech not coming out, so it's not the harassment trifecta. It is going to be straight up Triple M, going straight into the Triple M from here on out. Still continuing to build Hellions though. I mean, yeah, a bit of harassment. Why not? See how it goes. This guy needs to be controlled a little bit there, but getting a bit out of whack. Not too good for him to be doing that, but does manage to pull away eventually. And a bunch of lings look like they did get roasted, but overall not too much happening. Just a bunch of lings running around, a Reaper running around, a whole bunch of stuff running around. Not too much happening. A bit of harassment. Harassment not really going anywhere. We've got a third base coming up. Polt is going to realise that is up if he sends a scout over there, which he definitely should be doing. Has he already scouted that? Actually, we can have a look here. Where is he? Where is Mr. Polt? He's on number 2. He has seen this already, so yeah, that's fine. It's beautiful. Nothing that has to be worried about. He's actually going for a bit of a concerted effort. May be able to wipe out some stuff. Creep tumors, maybe. Oh man, I wonder if the queen's going to be healing the creep tumors. Oh, very nice. Actually hitting the queen to get some damage on the creep tumor. I don't know if he was doing that on purpose or if it just happened, but The Queen's actually taken quite a lot of damage. One Queen goes down. Concerted effort for the win, and I'm sure Life must have been a little bit surprised that one of his Queens actually did go down, but regardless, I don't think he had too much energy for healing. He's just building creatures all over the place, so most of the energy was not there when they needed it. Although, I mean, Queens, most of the time they build up so much energy they can just heal forever, but in this case, no, it did not happen. But I mean, he can afford to lose a Queen. He's so many workers in the lead right now, 52 over 38. We do have a Baling Nest coming up. We do have a Lair coming out. And I would not be surprised to see a Spire coming out very, very soon after. And Polt, maybe surprisingly, but maybe not, has continued to bump up a ton of Hellions. This is a total of 9, 10 Hellions. And I think he's lost a few already, so that's amazing. And the Lings coming around will have to be very, very lucky to take these guys out. And Life sees the amount of Hellions coming in. He's like instantly builds 30 Lings because he knows that's how many he needs to actually deal with this many Hellions. The 10 he's got so far, not going to be able to deal with it. And Medevac has actually dropped off some Marauders. This is a potential hatchery bust right here. The Hellions are just keeping the Lings off the Marauders, but they are getting around a bit of a flank and having a bit of trouble trying to save the Marauders. Why is he not picking them up with the Medevac? Too busy controlling the Hellions, but the single Marauder does survive, does go down to a single Ling though. And a bit unfortunate there, the Ling flank, very, very nice. And yes, more Lings just coming in all over the place. What are those bloody things got to do? I forgot what the hell they called. There's Hydras or Roaches, that's right, there's Roaches. So Roaches finally starting to come out. But oh man, for a second I thought that Polt had the perfect plan. I thought he was going to snipe the third base, and that would have been incredible. Those 3 Marauders dropped down from the Medevac. The timing was so precise. He didn't even have time to get a 4th Marauder. He just had 3 Marauders, whole bunch of Hellions. I thought he was about to pull it off, but Life, very, very nicely played. Just didn't wait for the Roaches, pulled out 30 Lings and just went in and in and in. Flanked around the backside from the ramp, did a phenomenal job of putting the pressure, and eventually Polt just had to back out. Did a bit of superficial damage to the hatchery, did not manage to get it down. So really, really great plan by Polt, very well executed, but in the end, the awesome macro, awesome defenses of Life managed to push him back. So pretty good stuff. He's just going to be sitting back right now. He's got a third base coming out. He's got a tank, a couple of tanks here. I like this play. Sort of. I like this play, sort of. I mean, I always like Marine tank play. Marine tank play is very, very nice against certain races. Against the Zerg, I'm not sure, because I mean, there's a very, very good chance it's going Mutaling, and as we all know, when it comes to Mutaling, Widow Mines just wipe the floor with tanks. I mean, fair enough, if you're going up against like another Terran player, tanks are very, very good. They've got the massive range, you can move around, you can hit more often. And against something like Marine Tank, it's a very, very nice unit. Against Zerg, however, the Muta pack, you need the Widow Mines, you need the Burrow Tech, and you need something that's not going to lose you the game if a bunch of Banelings just roll in and wipe them all out from the flank, or Mutas come in from the flank and just wipe them out, because tanks are very, very expensive. Widow Mines are relatively cheap. They still cost a bit of gas. I think off the top of my head it's like 100 minerals, 75 gas, maybe 75 minerals, 50 gas. I can't remember exactly, but they're definitely more cost effective than tanks, and they can easily get as many kills as a tank can. They don't last as long, but when they do hit something, it's usually a very, very big deal. So look at Banelings. He doesn't actually want to waste Banelings on this tank, but the Banelings do eventually go in there. One tank getting wiped out, the other tank getting a few kills, pulling them back. There's a third tank back there. Is he going to move this tank up? I do not know, but he's got to be worried about the flank. Lings are going to come in here, going to wipe out these tanks ASAP. Actually moving back to try and save this tank. Just does manage to save it, but I feel like he was going for a push for the third base. Hasn't really been able to do that. He's getting the creep down, but I think he's lost the amount of units that he really wanted to have a crack at the third base. Bunch of medevacs coming in. This is going to be some more healing potential right there. It's a pity they can't heal the tanks, but you take what you can get. And here we go. We've got a nice barrier right here. He's building another command center. I don't know whether this is going to be an orbital that he's going to move out to the fourth base. That would be a bit crazy if he did that. I'm guessing it's going to be a planetary to help try and defend that third base position, which is definitely a good idea. Another force coming around over here. If he knows about the 4th base, that is going to be brilliant. He does not know about the 3rd base, but he's going to find out very, very soon as he runs up the ramp. There he goes, sees the 4th base, and suddenly there's so many targets he can possibly attack, but look at all these lings coming in. I don't think the Marines can survive this. There's just too many lings. They're trying their best, but eventually they do get out of there, and meanwhile Polt, a bit surprisingly, chose not to go into the 3rd base there. I thought maybe he'd do a double prong attack, but maybe he's realizing there's just too many units to deal with, so he has to get one cohesive attack and try and just tank the sheer amount of lings that actually get thrown at him. But I'm not sure about this. A ton of banelings coming over. The mutas have started to come out, and this is looking quite scary here. So the Marines, so many banelings running in. They do have baneling speed. They are a little bit on creep, so a lot of damage being done, and there's just more just waiting in the wings for the Marines to get more fully on the creep. And there we go, they're just having to run for it, getting a lot getting cut off by the sheer amount of lings trapping them. More reinforcements coming in though, and this is not over by a long shot. Polt putting in with a ton of units right here. Going to try and snipe as many of the banelings as he can while keeping his Marines away from them. Whether or not this could possibly work, I'm not sure, but one thing is for sure, Life is doing a great job at keeping his baneling numbers up. He's definitely building them as fast as he can. Is definitely a lot of the mistake that Zerg players make is once they get the Spire up, they funnel all of their gas into mutas, try and get a huge muta army as fast as they can, and they don't get as many banelings as they possibly can, and they end up just facing a huge Marine army without the potential to actually take them out. It ends up being the mutas can't go anywhere near the Marine army because they get shredded too fast, and the Zerg players just struggling to get enough banelings, and half the time they just build mutas even when it's banelings they need. So there's a bit of a dodgy play by some Zerg players in that situation, but I'm very, very happy to say that Life knows where his priorities are. He's getting a ton of banelings. He's trying to do some harassment with the mutas, but trying not to let them die at the same time. Excellent, excellent job. He'll need those mutas when he starts harassing this 4th base over here. So great job. Another huge, huge army of units coming over. Polt almost maxed out. Life is already maxed out. He's got a massive amount of banelings, 21, 24 mutas, ton of workers as well, 78 over 65. Very, very nice. Both players exactly where they need to be in terms of the units that they currently have. Both players with 2-2. Terran player about to get 3 weapons. Oh, here we go. The mutas, very, very nice. Should be able to snipe this. There we go. They're starting to take some heavy damage from the Marines. 1 or 2 mutas do go down, but they did manage to force that base to cancel, actually. Oh, sniping the medevac. Very, very cheeky, but I really like that play. And at the same time, Polt thinking about coming in, but he's going to have a very, very hard time with so many banelings on the field. And the mutas taking out a couple of medevacs. There's another one. He could have sniped that with the mutas right there, but I suppose he expected that to just be boosting out of there ASAP. Bunch of lings coming in with banelings behind. You can see the beautiful plays that Life is doing, sending a few lings out and then a few banelings out. So basically he targets the lings first, automatically targets the lings first, and then the banelings come out after them, and that gives the fact that the lings are being targeted first gives the banelings enough time to actually get in there. Some nice scans going down. And Polt is undeterred right now. He's going to get a bunch of Widow Mines. One thing I have got to say here, the Overseer Courage is not as good as I would have liked to have seen. The 1 or 2 Widow Mines on the Muta pack is definitely going to fix that. But for now, it could be quite devastating here, actually. I don't know whether Life realizes there are Widow Mines buried under there, but he should find out soon enough. And this final force is going to be taken away here. A bunch of Widow Mines getting some beautiful hits off. Taking out ground forces for the most part, not really hitting the air forces. Oh, Baneling's actually coming down, and there we go. The Overseer coming out, but he's forgot about this one. Oh, it shot some egg. It shot some eggs, man. What a useless Widow Mine right there. What an absolutely useless Widow Mine. Could have potentially shot those guys, but regardless, here we go. A couple more forces, but Polt is looking a little bit strung out here. His army has gone down quite a bit. The Baneling hits have been very, very nice. Muta's putting a lot of pressure. Ling's doing a lot of damage. The Widow Mines have been doing a bit of damage, but not really critical blows. And the fact that Life just has so many Banelings and he's constantly getting Baneling hits is really, really helping him as far as the army size is concerned. And now he's starting to get an overwhelming number just rolling in here. And it's very, very hard for Polt to sort of push back this Muta army when they've got such a large amount of ground support that's coming in there. Look at that, 26 more Lings coming out. 22 banelings. Like I said, Life knows where his priorities are, and he's making a ton of banelings, consistently making a ton of banelings, and is keeping him in the game right now. He's doing a great job. He's making a 1-1 ratio of banelings to lings. He's sending the lings out first to soak up the damage, and the banelings roll in right behind to do the actual damage. It's a really, really great combination, and it's really working here. I mean, Life is slowly pulling ahead in this game. He's slowly getting further and further ahead in terms of the army size, keeping his mutas alive for the most part. He has been a couple of times where he's lost a couple of mutas when he took over the took out the command center over there, lost a few, but I think that was probably worth it. I think that was probably fine. So anyway, oh, medevac in the middle of nowhere. Please tell me he's going to take that out. He's paying attention. Bunch of lings going in there, going to be wiped out, and this is going to be a target for the mutas, but there are a few missile turrets. However, if he goes in on the inside, oh, some widow mines in a very, very nice position to sort of knock him out on the way there, and the missile turrets are going to buy enough time for the Marines to get in there. One missile turret stays alive, but it is going to burn down if he's not careful. The mutas coming in, thinking they've got enough to take out those Marines, but there's more Marines down there. Missile turret is going down, and here we go. The Marines just chasing after them. We're going to go all the way around the side. Where are the Marines to protect this base? There are not any Marines there. One missile turret, the Marines running down as fast as they can though, and the missile turret does go down. A bunch of workers are going down as well. We're at 55, losing a little bit, but the Marines are right there, very much on the ball, and there they go, running straight back up. But is Life going to do a bit of a no? He is going for this base as Polt expected, and there we go. The missile turrets are already back up. That was really fast building those up, and the mutas are getting a little bit hit right here. A bunch of banelings coming out. This very, very small Terran force is about to get completely owned. What the hell are the banelings doing? I really don't know. They're just sort of bouncing around, but the rest of the force coming up. Fairly sizable force by Polt, and might be able to do something here. No, probably not. It's just too many banelings, too many defenses, and the mutas are going to flank them really, really badly. But the problem with flanking a Terran army is they have a tendency to leave a lot of widow mines behind them. Oh, the mutas getting trapped right here. The Marines are straight under them. They stayed a couple of seconds too long. They're going to be running out, and they retreated in the direction of the Terran base. So it's going to be missile turrets all over the place. Oh, this could be very, very bad. They're trying to find a way out, but they're losing so many mutas right here. Oh, the widow mine close to shooting them, but they managed to skirt that very, very nicely. And a lot of mutas actually went down just now, and Polt is actually up in terms of the army size right here. He's been pushing out the Marines, doing a great job, and just pumping out his forces. Really, really doing a great job. So we will see if he can start to turn this around. He's definitely got the forces. He's got the income as well. And yeah, here we go. He's got an army over there. He's got an army over there, clearing up some creep, just forcing the creep back. Really, really nice job. Putting the widow mines absolutely everywhere. We've actually got an infestor over here. I don't know what this guy's going to be doing. Probably just fungal on the Marines if he can get it off. Didn't seem to get any fungals yet, but look at the banelings coming in. And yeah, these guys are sort of falling back, but I don't think he's got enough to really hold off this force. There's just so many banelings in this army of Life. Incredible, incredible amount of banelings, and he's got to be building a ton more banelings right now. He's starting to run low on them. He's got 18. I don't know where the 18 are. I'm guessing they're over on the 5th base position. So yeah, there we go. The infestor's going to be backing up, but really Polt has been putting a ton of forces into this one attack, and Life, realizing he's not going to get double teamed, moves all his defensive forces from the other side of the map into this base. Excellent, excellent move there. The perfectly good move for Life to already make. He already made a bunch of losses there, and the fact that there's so many units means a defensive force from the other side probably would have got wiped out if he moved him in there. Chose not to do it, chose to go for the other base instead. Very, very nice. These guys probably going to clean up here. I don't think Life quite has enough to really deal with that. However, his offensive force is going to get wiped out. Chose not to go for the 3rd base. And yeah, I guess this... Oh, it didn't turn out to be a planetary. There's another command center coming down here though. And this force, the ground forces I think are starting to get wiped out. There's a lot of medevacs here. The ground forces are starting to get wiped out. They're thinking about taking out this hatchery though, but a bunch of links come in, and I don't think there's going to be enough to hold it off. Life does give it the GG though. Obviously just lost too much there. You could see this base was probably going to go down. Probably. I can't see what forces are under there, but I think there were a fair amount of them anyway. Yeah, there's still a fair amount, about 8 or so. And they weren't going to die anytime soon because the medevacs were really healing them up. So Yeah, I feel like Polt definitely had the advantage there. At least some sort of advantage. He definitely had income approximately equal, and he had just so much more units, like 28 for 18 medevacs. That was huge. Life just had nothing left. So somehow Life was in a great position, constantly getting out banelings, blah 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 blah. But Polt just pushed ahead, man. He just really did a good job at something. I can't even really pinpoint when Polt turned it around, but he did. He definitely did. And, well, I mean, he definitely just clinched it when he took out this base. But at some point in the last 10 minutes, he just sort of swung the momentum around, and I think it was just pure macro, just getting out a ton of forces, and he started to do some really good attacks, falling back, not taking a huge amount of damage anymore, would be my guess. And yeah, in the end, he took it out, won it, beautiful job. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching this game, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another one. This has been Harry Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.